This story begins deep in the wild. A lion's desperate cry cuts through the savannah air, echoing like a call for help no one can ignore. The sound is raw, not the commanding roar of a king, but a broken plea, jagged and trembling. It rolls across the golden grasslands, fading into the heavy dusk. You stand frozen in the middle of the heat-hazed horizon, boots pressed into cracked earth, rifle slung over your shoulder. The wind carries the scent of dust, sweat, and something metallic, blood. Every instinct trained in battle tells you to stay alert, to treat that sound as danger. But something in that cry, something human, keeps you still. In this unforgiving land, survival is never guaranteed. So before we dive in, take a moment to like this video and subscribe, but only if you truly enjoy these emotional stories. Comment below your favorite animal, and let's step into the savannah together. The sky is turning amber as the sun begins to sink. A silence follows the cry, heavy and strange. Then once again, that sound. It's closer now, echoing from somewhere beyond the ridge. You tighten your grip on your field knife, heart thumping. The savannah is vast, open, yet every shadow feels alive. You start moving. Dry grass crunches beneath your boots as you push forward, eyes scanning every rise and hollow. Birds take off in sudden bursts, their wings flashing like signals in the fading light. Each step is deliberate, a soldier's discipline against the chaos of nature. Then amid the brush you find the first sign, a set of paw prints, deep and uneven. They belong to something large and injured, a lion full grown. You crouch beside the tracks, tracing the indentations with your fingertips. The soil is still warm. He passed through minutes ago. Another cry erupts, closer, sharper, filled with pain. You follow the sound, moving faster now. The terrain dips into a shallow ravine where thorn bushes twist into cages of shadow. The wind dies here, replaced by the drone of insects and the heartbeat of tension. Your pulse quickens. The cries grow weaker, more desperate. And then, for the first time, you see it. Movement between the reeds, the flash of a tawny coat. A lion, but not standing tall. It's down on one side, chest rising in shallow gasps. The setting sun paints the scene in orange fire. For a moment, you forget to breathe. The creature's eyes, once fierce and golden, are dull with exhaustion. There's no growl, no threat, only fear. You take a step closer, the air thick with uncertainty. The rifle strap slides from your shoulder. You don't even realize it's fallen. The lion watches you unblinking. In its eyes, you see something you never expected to find. Not rage, not wild defiance, but a plea. The savannah holds its breath. And in that stillness, one truth hits you hard. This isn't a predator's roar. It's a cry for help. But somewhere behind the low hills, thunder rumbles. Or is it something else moving in the tall grass? You move closer, your heartbeat sinking with the faint rise and fall of the lion's chest. The air feels heavier now, not from heat, but from the weight of uncertainty. The ground beneath your boots shifts from coarse sand to compact earth, marked with deep indentations. You kneel down, brushing away loose dust until the pattern becomes clear. Massive paw prints, but not steady ones. They drag and stagger as if every step was a struggle. Beside them, smears of red, dried blood. The trail is erratic, like a desperate attempt to escape something unseen. You follow it slowly, rifle low, scanning the distance. In the fading light, the world seems to stretch endlessly, every shadow stretching long and suspicious. The wind picks up again, whispering through the dry grass like a warning. Your boots kick up dust as you move along the path. Then you notice something strange, parallel lines in the dirt, cutting across the paw prints. You lean closer. They're too straight to be natural. Metal, maybe? Wire, a snare. You feel a chill crawl down your neck. Poachers. The lion's cries fade into quiet whimpers now, weak and rhythmic, somewhere just ahead. You step past a fallen log, and the smell hits you. Iron and rot, faint but undeniable. It's the scent of injury, of pain that's lingered too long. The grass parts in a small clearing, and there, half buried in the sand, lies a cruel glint of metal. A wire loop twisted tight around a stake, barely visible under the soil. It's been pulled and stretched, as though something powerful fought against it again and again. You trace the line with your gloved hand. It leads deeper into the brush. The sound of labored breathing grows louder. Then through the reeds, you finally see him fully. The lion's hind leg is tangled in the snare. The wire has bitten deep into the flesh, cutting through skin and muscle. Every movement sends a shiver through his body. His fur, once golden and proud, is matted with dirt and blood. Yet his eyes, tired but alive, follow your every step. You take a cautious breath. This isn't just an animal caught in a trap. This is a king brought low by man's cruelty. The irony stings. You, a soldier, trained to fight, to survive, now stand over another fighter, beaten by something smaller than either of you imagined. You lower your rifle completely and approach, hand open. The lion's ears twitch, but he doesn't move. His tail flicks once, weakly, as if he's run out of strength even to resist. You whisper under your breath, not to calm him, but to steady yourself. Easy, I'm not here to hurt you. The wind shifts. You catch a new scent, faint smoke, maybe miles away. Poachers don't work far from their traps. They might be nearby. You scan the horizon, eyes narrowed. The savannah looks empty, but you know better. Danger hides in stillness. You need to work fast. You kneel beside the wounded leg, fingers brushing the wire's cruel edge. It's twisted tight, too tight to undo by hand. You reach for your knife, the blade catching the last glimmer of sunlight. The lion's eyes meet yours again, and for a moment the wildness fades. You see pain, fear, and something else. Trust. You take a deep breath, steel your nerves, and whisper, "Hold on, big guy. I've got you." Then from somewhere behind, the sound of dry grass rustling breaks the silence. It's not the wind. Something or someone is moving closer. The last of the sunlight fades, leaving the savannah bathed in bruised purples and gold. You crouch low beside the lion, the air thick with dust and the metallic scent of blood. Every breath he takes rattles in his chest, shallow and uneven. The wire trap has carved deep grooves into his leg, glistening raw beneath torn fur. You've seen wounds before, from shrapnel, from bullets, but this one feels different. It isn't just physical. It's something cruel, deliberate. Your knife glints as you bring it closer to the wire. The lion's muscles tense, a low growl rumbling deep in his throat, weak but filled with warning. You freeze. His golden eyes fix on yours, burning even in the dim light. You whisper softly, steady and calm, "Easy, easy. I'm here to help." The sound of your voice seems to ease him. His breathing slows, and he drops his head to the ground with a heavy sigh. You begin cutting inch by inch, each movement slow and careful. The wire resists at first, biting against the blade. Then the snap, the first strand gives way. The lion jerks in pain, claws digging into the dirt, but he doesn't lash out. He's trusting you somehow. You cut again, sweat rolling down your neck. The blade slips once, grazing your glove. You don't stop. Each second feels heavier than the last. In the distance, a hornbill calls, its cry echoing through the dying light. You know night will fall soon, and when it does, everything changes. Finally, the last strand gives way. The lion roars, a thunderous sound that shakes the still air, then collapses onto his side. The noise rings in your ears, a mix of agony and relief. You stumble back, knife trembling in your hand, unsure if he'll attack or flee. But he doesn't move. His eyes flutter, and for the first time he looks peaceful. You tear a strip from your sleeve and press it against the bleeding wound, wrapping it tight. It's a temporary fix, not enough to save him for long. He needs medical care, antibiotics, real tools. You check your radio, tapping the side. Static, no response. The nearest ranger post is miles away, and night predators will soon stir. The lion stirs, his paw shifting toward you. Just an inch, just enough to touch your boot. It's not aggression, it's contact. A silent thank you, maybe. You don't know why, but it hits harder than any medal you've ever earned. You whisper, "Hang in there, King. We're not done yet." The air grows colder. In the tall grass beyond the ridge, something moves. Quick, heavy, deliberate. You grip your knife again and turn, eyes scanning the dark. The lion's head lifts weakly, ears twitching. Whatever's out there has noticed you both. The sky deepens to indigo, stars beginning to pierce the horizon. The savannah at night is a different world, no longer open and inviting, but vast, alive and watching. You stand there, knife still slick with dust and blood, every nerve awake. Behind you, the lion lies breathing hard, weak but alive. Ahead, something stirs in the tall grass. You can't see it yet, but you can hear it. Soft, deliberate footsteps circling. Your training kicks in. You reach for your rifle, slide the safety off, and step between the sound and the wounded lion. The dry grass whispers like paper in the wind. Another crunch, closer now, then silence. You whisper under your breath, if it's poachers. I swear, but then a low growl answers, not human, not distant. It's another lion, maybe more than one. Your pulse spikes. This must be his pride returning to find their injured king. You glance back at him, his ears flick, his tail twitches. He knows that sound. His eyes open wider, and a faint rumble escapes his throat, somewhere between relief and warning. You lower your weapon slightly. So that's who's out there, you mutter. Your family. But that realization doesn't make it safer. Lions protect their own? They don't know you're helping, only that one of theirs lies wounded beside you. The grass rustles again. A shape emerges, sleek, golden, and silent. A lioness steps into the clearing, eyes locked on you. Her muscles ripple beneath her coat, and her tail flicks once, sharply. You freeze. The lion behind you lets out a faint grunt, as if trying to call her off. For a moment everything hangs in fragile balance, predator and man, danger and mercy. You slowly lower your rifle and take a careful step back. Easy, you whisper. I'm leaving, but your foot brushes the wire snare, still coiled in the dirt. It rattles softly. The lioness's ears flatten. She growls low, head dropping toward the ground. You raise both hands, backing away, heart pounding so loud it drowns the crickets. The male lifts his head again, forcing out a low sound, a broken call directed at her. The growl fades. Her expression softens. She looks from him to you, and for one surreal moment it's as if she understands. You stop moving. The savannah goes silent again, filled only with wind and distant thunder. You speak softly, barely above a whisper. He's hurt. I helped him. That's all. The lioness blinks once, then twice, before stepping closer to her fallen mate. You can see the hesitation in her movements, torn between instinct and confusion. You take another step back, giving her space. Your hands tremble slightly as adrenaline fades. Fear and mercy. Both pull at you, both whisper in your ear. You've faced enemies before, but this moment feels different. It's not about survival. It's about understanding. You back away into the tall grass, never turning your back. The lioness lowers beside him, licking the wound you just freed. For now you've earned her tolerance, not trust. But you know that won't last long, because out here the night belongs to them. And somewhere in the distance, another roar answers. The night deepens into full darkness now, the kind that swallows everything except the faint shimmer of starlight on metal and fur. The air grows heavy, humming with the life of the savannah. Crickets chirp, hyenas call somewhere far off, and through it all your heart keeps pounding steady, slow and loud. You crouch behind a low cluster of rocks, watching the lion and lioness in the clearing. She's nuzzled close to him now, her movements protective and slow, tail brushing his side like reassurance. Every so often, she looks up, ears flicking, scanning the darkness. She knows they're not alone. You follow her gaze, and that's when you see them. Two more shapes, silent and golden, emerge from the shadows. The rest of the pride has returned. They move like smoke through the grass, powerful, cautious, and perfectly synchronized. 3 lionesses and a younger male, their eyes catching light as they fan out around the clearing. It's a formation you've seen before, but only in documentaries or training visuals. Now it's real, and you're right in the middle of it. Your hand tightens on your rifle, though you know it's useless against this many. Shooting isn't survival here, it's suicide. You whisper to yourself, steady and quiet, stay calm. Don't provoke. Don't move. The lioness beside the wounded male lifts her head and lets out a low, resonant growl. Not a threat, but a call. The others slow, then stop. The sound ripples through the group like a message. You can't translate it, but it feels like she's telling them he's safe. The danger's gone. Still, one of the younger lionesses steps closer, her muscles coiled, eyes fixed on you. Her tail sways side to side, a warning. You slowly shift your position, lowering the rifle, palms open in surrender. The soldier in you wants to retreat, but the human part, the part that came here to help, refuses to move just yet. You whisper, "He'll die if I leave now." The lion lifts his head weakly, as if recognizing your voice. A faint rumble vibrates from his throat, tired but calm. The younger lioness halts, uncertain. The lioness beside him looks at you again, and something wordless passes between you both. The savannah is silent except for the wind. The stars seem to watch. You take a step back, then another, lowering yourself slowly to the ground. From your vest pocket, you pull out your field radio, cracked but still flickering with static. You press the button. "Control, this is Ranger Unit 2. I've found an injured lion. He's alive but trapped. Requesting immediate backup at grid. The signal fizzles out, swallowed by static. You try again. Nothing. You glance at the pride again, still watching you, still on edge. The lion's breathing has steadied, but he's not out of danger. Infection, blood loss, exhaustion, all of it could end him before morning. A deep rumble rolls over the plains. Not thunder this time, but something heavier, closer. Maybe another male, a rival. The pride's ears perk and the lioness lifts her head sharply. The tension returns in a flash. You whisper to yourself, "I need to move, now." You edge backward through the grass, every step careful, every sound deliberate. But before you disappear into the dark, you look back one last time. The lion's eyes, dull a moment ago, find yours again. There's no fear left in them now, only something you can't name. Trust, maybe gratitude. Or something older, something primal. Then from beyond the clearing another growl echoes. Closer this time. The pride stiffens. The night isn't done with you yet. The growl in the distance grows louder, heavier, guttural, and close enough that you can feel it vibrate through the soles of your boots. You spin toward the sound, every muscle tense. Somewhere out there, another lion moves through the brush, pacing slow and deliberate. You can't see him, but the others can. The lioness, near the wounded male, stiffens, tail erect. She's not afraid, but she's ready. You drop to one knee and fumble for the radio again. "Control, this is Ranger Unit 2, urgent. Pride is returning, potential conflict, I need backup, copy?" Static, only static. You slap the side of the radio hard. The speaker hisses, then dies again. Your stomach tightens. The nearest ranger post is over 20 kilometers away, and at night, terrain like this might as well be another planet. You glance toward the wounded lion. He's stirring now, head low, muzzle flecked with dust. He lets out a deep grunt, half warning, half fatigue. The lioness leans against him, her body a shield between him and whatever prowls out there in the dark. Your instincts scream to retreat, but something stronger holds you still. Duty, empathy, or maybe that unspoken promise you made the moment you cut him free. You whisper, "You're not dying out here, not like this." You twist the radio's antenna, praying for a miracle. Then through the static, a voice breaks faintly. "Unit 2, repeat location, signal weak over." You freeze, press the button fast. "This is Unit 2, injured lion, possibly poached. Coordinates near River Bend, East Ridge. Backup requested ASAP, copy that. Backup en route. ETA 45 minutes. 45 minutes. That might as well be forever." You look around. The pride hasn't moved, but their ears twitch toward the low growl now circling to the south. Another male is closing in, drawn by scent and weakness. A challenge is brewing, and you're standing right in the middle of it. The lioness's gaze flicks between the approaching threat and you, her muscles tense like coiled rope. The injured lion lifts his head again and answers the growl with a weak, trembling roar, a declaration of territory. His voice cracks, but the message is clear. You know what's coming. The rival won't stop, and if he reaches this clearing, you won't just be a bystander, you'll be collateral. You raise the radio again. "Control, make it fast. We've got a possible pride fight incoming." The static swells again and cuts off completely. You're alone. You take a slow breath, scanning the edges of the grass. The rival's outline flickers for just a moment under the moonlight. Massive shoulders, mane bristling, eyes glowing amber. He's circling closer, each step deliberate, each snarl shaking the silence. You grip your rifle, not to kill, but to make noise, to buy seconds. You whisper to the wounded lion, "Stay down, old boy. Let her handle this." The lioness steps forward, hackles raised, teeth bared, her growl rolling low like thunder. She's not backing down. Neither are you. And as the rival growl turns into a roar that shakes the night, you realize your fight tonight isn't against nature, it's against time. The rival's roar splits the night in two. It echoes across the savannah, powerful enough to make your ribs vibrate. You freeze where you stand, heart hammering, while dust swirls in faint moonlight. The lioness answers with a snarl that's deep and guttural, the kind that vibrates low in her chest, a mother defending her own. The wounded lion tries to lift his head again, but his body refuses. His strength is gone. You glance toward the grass line, and there he is, the challenger. A huge male, mane darker than the night itself, eyes fixed on the wounded king. He moves with purpose, slow and deadly, his paws silent against the dirt. You raise your rifle slightly, not to shoot, but to make your presence known. The rival pauses, studying you. His gaze lingers, confused for a moment, then slides past you toward the fallen lion. The lioness steps in front of her mate, her body low, ready. Everything inside you screams to back away, to get out before this explodes into chaos. But your legs don't move. You've been in battles before, faced enemies who didn't hesitate. But this moment feels heavier. Here, life and death aren't about victory. They're about survival, instinct, love. The rival growls again, lowering his head. Then he charges. You don't think, you act. You fire once into the air. The gunshot cracks through the dark like lightning. Birds burst from the trees, their wings flashing white under the moon. The sound freezes the rival mid-stride. His roar dies into confusion, his eyes locking on you now. You shout, voice raw, "Back off!" The rival hesitates, muscles twitching. You take a step forward, keeping your rifle up. Another warning shot rings out. The echo rolls through the plains, fading into silence. Slowly, reluctantly, the challenger steps back. His ears flatten, and with a frustrated snarl he turns away, melting back into the tall grass. You lower the rifle, chest heaving. The silence that follows feels unreal. The lioness doesn't move. She stays by the wounded male's side, panting, trembling from the tension. The pride in the background remains low and quiet, like they understand the danger has passed. You kneel beside the fallen lion once more. His breath rattles weakly, but his eyes, those deep amber eyes, find you. You whisper, "You're safe now." For a long moment you both just breathe. The man and the beast, two soldiers who fought different wars, but somehow ended up side by side. You see it now, the faint flicker of understanding. Maybe he knows you saved him. Maybe it's something beyond words, just recognition between survivors. The lion's paw shifts, brushing against your boot again, heavier this time, deliberate. You don't pull away. Instead, you rest your hand gently on his mane. The fur is coarse, sticky with sweat and blood, but it's warm, alive. The lioness watches quietly, her gaze softer now. The threat is gone, and so is the fear. For the first time tonight, the savannah feels still. You sit there a moment longer, listening to the crickets, the wind, the far-off thunder rolling like applause from the heavens. Then your radio crackles again, faint but alive. Unit 2, backup closing in, 10 minutes out. You exhale, shoulders heavy with relief. Help is coming! But as you glance at the lion one last time, you realize something deeper. He didn't just need saving. He needed to believe someone still cared. And for a fleeting moment, under the silver light of the stars, he did. But in the distance, a hyena's cackle echoes through the dark, reminding you that this fragile peace won't last forever. The first touch of dawn brushes across the plains, turning the sky pale orange and the grass silver in the early light. You're still there beside the lion, exhaustion heavy in your bones but unwilling to move until help arrives. The radio hums faintly with static, then a voice breaks through. Unit 2, we have visual, coming in from the west. Relief floods through you so sharply it almost hurts. You rise slowly, waving an arm toward the horizon. A dark green ranger truck rolls into view, its tires grinding against the dry earth. Two figures jump out before the vehicle fully stops. Wildlife medics carrying tranquilizer darts and a field kit. They move with calm precision, the kind born of experience, but their eyes widen when they see what you've been watching over. "Good God," one of them murmurs. "He's the dominant male from the Eastern Pride." You nod, voice hoarse. "Caught in a poacher's snare. I freed him last night. He's weak but alive." The rangers kneel beside the lion. One prepares the tranquilizer. The other unpacks gauze, antiseptic, and a saline drip. The lioness growls softly as they approach, protective, but you hold up a hand. "Easy, girl," you whisper. "They're friends." She hesitates, then backs off just enough for them to work. The dart slides into the lion's flank, and within moments, his breathing steadies into a slow rhythm. The medics clean the wound carefully, cutting away the crusted wire you couldn't remove. The flesh beneath is raw, but not beyond healing. You watch quietly, feeling a strange mix of pride and sorrow. Every cut and scar tells a story of strength, of endurance, of survival against odds neither of you ever chose. "Lucky you found him," one ranger says without looking up. "He'd have bled out before sunrise." You glance at the horizon. The sun is rising now, spilling gold across the plains. Birds glide low over the grass, their shadows dancing between the acacias. The world feels softer than it did a few hours ago. "No one should die like that," you answer quietly. The ranger nods. "We'll move him to the rehab camp near the river. Stitch him up, monitor for infection. He'll be fine." As they lift the lion onto a stretcher, you notice something glinting near the old trap. You kneel and pick it up, a broken piece of chain, rusted and frayed. The poacher's mark. You slip it into your pocket, a reminder of why this fight never really ends. The lioness circles once, watching her mate being carried away. For a moment she looks directly at you. There's no growl, no sound, just a long, silent gaze. You could almost swear she understands. Then she turns and pads into the tall grass, vanishing like a ghost. The medics load the lion carefully into the truck. One of them waves. "You coming?" You nod, glancing one last time at the rising sun. The world is brighter now, softer, as though the savannah itself has exhaled. You climb into the vehicle, dust swirling around your boots. As the engine starts, you glance back through the rear window. The lion lies still but breathing, his chest rising strong and steady. For the first time since you heard that cry, you allow yourself to smile. But far beyond the hills, a single echoing gunshot reminds you the wild is never quiet for long. By the time the truck reaches the wildlife rehabilitation camp near the river, the sun is already high, casting sharp white light over everything. The rangers pull up beside a shaded enclosure, a small clearing surrounded by wire fencing and scattered acacia trees. The sound of the engine fades, replaced by the low murmur of birds and the gentle lap of water against the riverbank. You step out slowly, your boots sinking into the soft, warm dust. The lion is lifted carefully from the truck, his body covered with a clean sheet to protect him from the sun. The medics move quickly but with reverence, every motion deliberate, every breath cautious. The lion's massive frame looks smaller now, vulnerable, stripped of the power that once defined him. They carry him into the enclosure, laying him on a thick bed of straw. The veterinary officer, a woman with a calm voice and eyes like polished stone, checks the wound, nodding to her team. "No major artery damage. He'll recover," she says. Then she glances at you. "You did well, soldier. Without you, this king wouldn't have survived the night." You give a small nod, words caught in your throat. For hours, the medics clean, stitch, and wrap the wound. Saline drips into his veins, his breathing slow but steady. You stay nearby, leaning against the wooden post, listening to the steady rhythm of his life. Every so often, his tail flicks, his ears twitch, small signs that he's fighting his way back. The other rangers move around you, quiet and respectful. No one speaks loudly here. The air feels sacred, like a church without walls. By afternoon, the work is done. The lion sleeps under the shade, his chest rising strong. The rangers step away, satisfied. The medic approaches you again. He'll need a week here before release. Maybe 2, but he's a fighter. You smile faintly. Yeah, you whisper. He's tougher than most soldiers I've known. You step closer to the fence, kneeling just outside it. The lion's eyes open halfway, hazy with exhaustion but focused. For a heartbeat, those golden eyes lock onto yours again. No fear this time, just recognition. Maybe even peace. You're safe now, you murmur. Your family's out there waiting. A warm breeze moves through the trees, scattering pale yellow leaves into the enclosure. The sound of rustling grass is soft, almost like a lullaby. The river glimmers beyond the camp, sunlight dancing across the surface. You take off your cap, running a hand through your hair, and exhale deeply. The tension, the adrenaline, the noise, it all fades into the hum of nature, returning to balance. The rangers start packing up. One of them offers you water. You take it, but your eyes stay on the lion. His breathing evens out slow and calm. His paw shifts once more, pressing against the ground as though claiming his life again. In that moment you realize this rescue wasn't just about saving an animal, it was about something deeper. About mercy, about trust, about what's left of humanity when no one's watching. You whisper, half to him and half to the wind, the world's still worth fighting for, huh? The wind carries your words away across the grasslands. The sky glows gold as the sun begins its descent. The danger has passed. Peace has returned. And as night falls again, the savannah sleeps once more. Alive, breathing, eternal. The savannah lies quiet beneath the fading orange glow of sunset. The wind hums softly through the tall grass, carrying the scent of rain and dust. In the distance, the acacia trees stand like dark silhouettes against the dying light, guardians of a land that knows both mercy and brutality. You sit alone near the riverbank now, your rifle resting by your side, the sounds of the camp fading into stillness. Across the clearing, the lion sleeps peacefully, his flank rising and falling in slow rhythm. A gauze bandage glints faintly in the last rays of the sun. His breathing is strong again, steady, like the heartbeat of the savannah itself. For the first time since the night began, you let your shoulders relax. You can still hear the echo of that first cry in your head, the sound that drew you into all this. It's strange how something so fragile, so desperate, could change the course of an entire night, and maybe something inside you too. The medics have left, the rangers are resting, and the world feels suspended in a rare moment of peace. The hum of insects begins to fill the air as twilight deepens. Somewhere beyond the hills, you hear another lion's roar, low, distant, content. Perhaps his pride has found safety again. You tilt your head back, watching as the first stars pierce through the violet sky. The air cools around you, and the dust settles like quiet ash. You think about what you've seen, the cruelty of the trap, the raw fear in the lion's eyes, the courage of the lioness, the bond that somehow formed between man and beast. It's not something you can explain. It's something you feel. That invisible thread that connects all living things, the wild and the human, the hunter and the protector, the fear and the faith. A soft breeze ripples across the grass, brushing your face. You close your eyes and breathe it in. The savannah is at rest now, the danger long gone. Only peace remains. As you stand to leave, you take one last look at the lion beneath the acacia shade. He stirs slightly, eyes opening just enough to meet yours, one final time. No sound passes between you, yet the message is clear. Gratitude, respect, and something like understanding. You smile quietly. Rest well, King, you whisper. The world turns gold one last time before the sun disappears beyond the horizon. The sky fades into indigo, and the first cool breath of night drifts across the plains. The danger has passed. Peace has returned, and as the stars spread over the endless wild, the savannah sleeps once more, calm, eternal, and free.